1 minute until showtime.
Yahoo!
Hey!
That's it.
All right, much better.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, from the world's most famous beach, from where beach racing began, it's the Legends of Racing radio show. Live from racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill in Ponce Inlet, Florida. The Legends of Racing radio show. And your host, Buzz McKim. And co-host, Rich Combs.
Buzz! Oh, Buzz, is Buzz in the house? Buzz will not be in the house. He has taken upon himself to get in a position of convalescence. I'm not going to get detailed. How about you, Rich?
That's good, yes.
But the point is, everybody here came to see Buzz McKim. But guess what? He has to sit at home and listen. So that's a good thing. Hey, I'm Roland Villa, sitting in for him once again. Mr. Multane, he's the head cahoon of our show. Hey, by the way, put your hands together for Mike. He's the one that makes this possible. You never get enough kudos until the end when we can blame it on you. Rich Combs over there, I tell you what, I had fun the first time that we were together and did this. A lot of knowledge and everything. And that's what we're going to do. This program is designed around racing news. I like racing. Everybody here likes racing. And we're going to go through a bunch of different things tonight. I want to remind you about our new YouTube channel where we are live on YouTube. And immediately after we're done here, then we get an opportunity to see the show like right away. So we appreciate that. And you know what? Hidden over there, behind all the knobs and controls and wires, she's so, I don't know how to describe Danny Jo. She's just shy and reserved. Yeah. Anyway, Danny Jo, she's on the controls. She makes it happen. I'm going to tell you, Dave, I was in radio for a long time with Mike. I don't think I tackled the board the way that she is able to do it right now.
Well,
she does a good job.
Danny likes the intro normally that we say, good looking and sexy.
Oh, I thought that was about me.
Well, it could be you too.
No, my wife is here, so she knows the true story. Anyway, this show is also brought to you here in the first part by Staples on International Speedway Boulevard. Now, anybody that has a computer, anybody that does any kind of office work, if you work for somebody, I tell you, one of the best places that you can find things for your office and home is at Staples. For some reason, if you'll look at the ads that run, they're always just a little bit less expensive, and they usually have stuff in stock, which is a really important thing. So check out Staples next time you need something for your home or office that's business, paper, computer-related. Check it out down there. All right, we have a special guest, and he is special. You know, we can sit up here and we can talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's fairly easy, Rich, for us to talk. But one of the hardest things in motorsports is writing, because you have to have the thrill of the action going on. You have to have the personalities of the drivers and whatnot. You have to understand things mechanically, and then you got to get the statistics right and somehow blend it to make it interesting for people to read. So it's an art form. very much so. Unlike other writing, you can write about many different things, but racing writing is a special subject.
It's different all the time, every week.
That's right. How long have you been doing it?
My name's Dave Dragovich. I write for
Oh, yeah,
a
I
paper
could have
called.
done that.
I was on here 2 years ago. But first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me. I want to thank everybody for coming. I've been a motorsports journalist since 1989. My wife and I are from the Pittsburgh area, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And you're right, it's tough. And my main concern is, I write a column a week for Area Auto Racing News. And I sit down and I think, what can I say that I haven't said before?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the hardest thing, getting started and the ending. So it usually works out pretty good. Say a quick prayer to the Holy Spirit, and it works out every time.
Here you
So
go.
what tracks do you cover?
I cover, we live like 6 miles from New Smyrna Speedway, and I can hear the cars racing from my backyard. That's why we bought the house. Looked at the house 6 or 7 times, and one day, it was a Wednesday, and the real estate guy was there, and I could hear the cars practice, and I said, say no more, sold, we'll buy the house. But I cover basically New Smyrna Saturday nights. Then we do the dirt track at Volusia, Barberville. That's a big half-mile dirt. And I go as far as Citrus County Speedway. It's a quarter-mile track in Inverness. It takes about 2 hours and 10 minutes to get there. Pretty nice drive. It's a nice track, short track. And I cover that. And also Bubba Raceway Park. It's a dirt
there
track
you
in
go.
Ocala. But
In Ocala.
there's been a name change. They went back to Ocala Speedway. They're no longer Bubba, so they're trying to promote that.
Okay.
So between the 4 tracks and cover that. And sometimes I go up to All-State, which is All-Tech, I'm sorry. which
All-Tech.
is Gainesville, yeah. But the problem is with tracks here, in July, it's pretty slim racing. Like All-Tech, they're not going to race until September. They're done for the summer. I guess it's too hot. So, and Volusia has a limited schedule. They're racing go-karts tonight, but the next big late model race is going to be a month from now, July 27th. So all that time off. And
You say they're racing go-karts. I just want to say it's not like a yard cart, folks. It's not something you go to amusement park and ride a go-kart. These are racing
Exactly. Yeah,
carts.
that's right.
It's miniature race cars.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, they take it very seriously. And I think they get a lot of stuff that they use on go-karts with the suspension and the technology to use on late models, different theories and everything. So,
And guess what? That's where those late model drivers come
that's
from.
right. That's right. They hone their skills in go-karts.
Like in New Smyrna, they got the three-quarter.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, they race
three-quarter
there
racers, yeah.
usually every Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And the quarter midgets.
Quarter midgets.
Quarter midgets. And they also have a go-kart track above turn 4. So sometimes they both race at the same time. So, but New Smyrna has the best schedule of all the tracks I go to. They only take 1 week off a month. And they have a good program. Like we're running tomorrow. It's $5 a night. $5 to get in. Can you imagine that? You can't
Really?
even
No
buy a
better
beer
deal.
for $5 anymore.
And then you get a track hot dog. That's the whole reason for going.
Yeah.
And one of their warm beers. But anyway, it's always a lot of fun, and they're getting back to the family fun part again. That's what's
family
important.
fun night, $5 a night was about 7 divisions, and it's a fun time.
Area Auto Racing News.
Yes.
Where is that found?
It's published out of Trenton, New Jersey,
Okay.
Roland, and they've
Is
been
it
in business.
Is it online too?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's been in business since 1963. Yeah, steady. It's probably one of the only papers in existence that's left. I mean,
It's
there used to
still
be a ton of
going.
racing papers, but Area Auto is probably the only one left. I'm so honored and privileged to write for it. So I do a weekly column. But,
So it is published weekly.
Yeah, weekly.
Can
It's
you get a
48 issues a year. Yeah.
Can you get a subscription? and
Yes.
It's mailed to. Okay.
Right. Subscription. It's probably $75 a year, 48 issues, and then you could get a different subscription. You just want to check it out. It's like $15 for 6 issues or something like that. And
And it's dirt and asphalt.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
does it have
there's-
the weekly
Oh,
statistics?
yeah. I got the current issue the other day. It's a big issue, 72 pages,
Wow.
and it covers, I think, over 200 tracks.
Wow.
Stories and results about all those tracks. And
Is this something that's actually used by the racers and the
Oh,
teams
yeah, yeah,
and the
it's-
people as their
Right.
industry paper?
exactly, yeah. Like I say, they've been in business for since 1963, and everybody likes it. And we also have a digital presence. You get it online. I'm different. I like to have a paper that I can hold in my hand.
Oh,
like
yeah.
newspaper.
We all do,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but for those who are into digital stuff, I think to get the same subscription, it's cheaper, $39 a year. Get on your computer and look at it, and it's pretty good. And I think do it 6 times for like $15 just to check it out. It's really cheap,
Nice.
and for some people that's a way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Dave Dragovich a minute. Let's figure him out here. To know about racing, it's good to be a fan. It's good to be involved in the industry. Did you ever drive? Were you ever involved in the racing part?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I started in 1989, like I say, but in 1992, I thought, I should write about what it's like to be a driver.
Sure.
Tri-State Auto Racing News wanted me to write for them, and I did a column I entitled "A View from the Driver's Seat." Yeah, I'll tell you, it was an eye-opener. Yeah, it looks easy from the stands, but man, once you get out there, I mean, it's a tough deal. So I did that for a while, and one of my first races was I was doing pretty good too. I was kind of leading, and
What class of car?
street stock. It was
Okay.
a street stock at Motordrome Speedway up around the Pittsburgh area, and I also raced up at Jennerstown Speedway. That was my home track. But I was leading the race one time in my street stock, and a big moth, about double my hands, flew right in my line of vision, and I couldn't see. I was leading the race, and there I am trying. We had screens at the time. I was beating the screen, trying. Meantime, all these guys are trying to pass me. I got 4 on one side, 3 on the other, and beat the thing. I almost wrecked, but I got through that. And by the time the moth ran away or flew away, I was in last place.
Yeah.
But it was I raced for a guy. We were like partners in a car, and guy said to me, "Well, my nickname, the announcer gave me, was Dangerous Dave Dragovich." Dangerous Dave.
Did you live
That
up
stuck
to
with
it?
me. Yeah, yeah. And my buddy Ron, he owned a car. He said, "Dave, if you keep busting up these wheels," he says, "I'm going to have to start charging you." more," And so I only ran like 7 or 8 races that year, and then it got so bad he didn't even bring the car with this Dangerous Dave stuff. But I tell you what, I got better a couple of years later. I went from Dangerous Dave to Diamond Dave,
Diamond
So,
Dave.
yeah.
That's good.
and it was fun.
Well, when you're doing articles and you're a journalist, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a particular avenue, or do you find what's happening there and write about it?
It's different every time, Mike. What I do is go to the pits, try to go early, talk to the drivers, get their thoughts, interview them, and during a race, I take notes, and sometimes I record them. And between all 3 venues, I try to put it together. And
Yeah.
I have a Sunday night deadline, so Sundays are a busy day, but so it's a different perspective every week. But what I like to do is, I don't write about guys that win all the time. I like to write about guys that go down through the pack, and even the last place finish, because the guy who finishes the last works just as hard as the guy who wins every week. So I try to cover it all. Yeah,
Sometimes faster, and it cost him more.
that's right.
That's what happens.
That's right.
We're
So-
going to, during this program, we're going to ask you about some races you covered that you were surprised about. Going to tell you about maybe a legend that you worked with, and putting forward a story. I know that you got a lot of notes
yeah,
here
it's,
that
got
are
the history here, but we can go
that's
through
going to
that
be
too.
good to do.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask you about that. But before we go there, in your writing that you do, okay, do you ever come to a weekend and you just don't have anything to write, and then you just tilt back to the past and write something,
Yes.
a
Yeah.
memory article?
Sometimes I do. Like this day in history, July 12th, 1982, at Motordrome Speedway. This happened, that happened. This guy won. Yeah. So I do refer back to my notes or old papers. I'm probably have every paper that was published. I know my wife wants me to get rid of them all, but to me that's history. I go back to refer to papers like that. But
I know what your garage looks like. I know, because I've had the same thing
yeah.
once upon a time.
When you're writing an article, you've got an audience. You're picturing in your mind who you're communicating with. Who is that audience? Is it a driver? Is it a fan? Someone you can never think would pick that up and read it? Who's the audience you're pushing towards?
Mostly the readers. And if I concentrate on a driver, like last week I did an article about a super stock driver at New Smyrna, Doug Samians, and his daughter, Lindsay. He races super stock. She races like 4 cylinders. So I did an article about them. It's a taped article, taped interview. So I had to concentrate on them. I mean, I get a lot of information. Like this guy won over 200 features. I mean, some people don't even win one.
Yes.
And then he's teaching his daughter Lindsay. She gets better every lap. So in that regard, I want to concentrate on them. And I know a lot of readers are going to fan out and read it. I get a lot of feedback that I like the personal side of drivers. The hobbies and everything, and just not what they do on the track.
And
So
here's the
it's a
amazing thing about those 4-cylinder cars.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, oh, they don't go very fast. But they're going very fast with their toes pointed through the radiator.
Right.
They are going wide open
Exactly,
circles.
yeah.
It really makes a difference. Folks, we are going to take a short pause for the cause and talk about, first of all, Beach Boys Embroidery. We're going to get to that. But when we get back, we're going to get into some racing stories with Diamond Dave right here. So stay tuned, folks. Get well, Buzz.
Thank you.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. At Beach Boys Embroidery and Tees, it's all about making you happy. Beach Boys Embroidery can customize your athletic golf apparel, caps, hats, badges, buttons, magnets, backpacks, bags, totes, clocks, watches, and of course, T-shirts. Sure, they're at 2033 South Ridgewood Avenue in South Daytona, and they're waiting for you to call now. 386-255-5880. Beach Boys Embroidery and Tees. Let Aloha Marine get you on the water with huge discounts on great brands like Bayliner, Carolina Skiff, Hurricane, Key West, and Regal. Pay as little as $169 a month with 10% down and approved credit. Don't wait. Get to Aloha Marine, 1700 North Nova Road, Holly Hill, Monday through Saturday. 47 years and always better than boat show prices. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim, and co-host, Rich Coe.
Hey, and once again, Buzz under the weather, so I'll be filling in for a couple shows for him. Rich Combs on the end, our writer, Diamond Dave Dragovich. They should have wrote about drag racing. Dragovich.
Yeah, with a name like Dragovich, you know what?
Yeah.
you know how many drag races I've attended in my 75 years?
Yeah.
0. With a name like Dragovich, you'd think I'd go.
Well, guess what? I live on a golf course. Guess what?
Yeah.
I don't play golf.
I'm with you there.
I find a lot of balls, but anyway. Thanks to the Legends of Racing Radio Facebook page. Remember, we're now live on Facebook, but you know what? I mean, live on the other place, YouTube. That's nice, but doggone it, the food's good here. The beer is ice cold. It's good to be down here. You all enjoying your meals? You enjoying it? Put your hands together. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, this is for those folks who are not here. You know, our listeners that are out there. If you haven't been here, you got to come. This is a very historic building. It's a very historic area. The views are wonderful. I'm looking out and I'm seeing just beautiful ocean. Light chop today.
Wait
good
a minute.
breeze.
Its surf is up.
You
heck with
you
this.
couldn't do any better than this. I mean, if you
You're going to take a swim?
hey, go for it. Go for it.
And Multaine's having a fit.
So, anyway, I urge all the people who are listeners who haven't been here, come down and visit with us at the North Turn. This is an experience in itself. If Roland and I can't keep you happy, everything else here
The
can.
waitresses will. Hey, we got some racing coming up. You've got a schedule here. Let's fill people in and let them know when racing's happening. Hey, by the way, isn't this a cool place to live for racing? Daytona National Speedway.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that.
Yeah.
But we've got one of the most internationally known dirt tracks, Volusia Speedway Park. And we've got New Smyrna Speedway, one of the best half-mile high bank. We got it made here. It's really something special. Even Orlando has a speedway and a dragway over there, so, you know, there's always something to do with racing.
Yeah.
You can always go somewhere and watch it.
Yeah, they have a great drag racing present, but the oval hasn't raced for years and years and years. You know, they're trying to get it going, but always run into a snag that doesn't make it possible. But it's a great track. And well, I say about New Smyrna, there's family fun night. And what I didn't mention was any one of you folks in here, you can watch tomorrow night and race the car that you drove here to North Turn. You can race out there. It's called spectator races. All you got to do is show your driver's license and whatever. And the car you drove here, you can race in the track. It's fun. That's the most popular segment of racing, like 7 features and everything. So what they do is take your car. You got to have a helmet.
Yes.
No fire suit. I'd have loaned you guys one, but get this. My racing suit is here in New Smyrna. All right, we live. But my racing helmet is up in Somerset Speedway, Jennerstown Speedway, where I used to work. Go figure out. But I got to go get it someday.
Your wife purposely left it up there.
She didn't want me to race anymore. But, so you can race in the spectator race.
Let me tell you, my wife and I went to, what was about 6 weeks ago, and they had the spectator races on. It was family night. And it went fairly normal. Trucks running against cars, and they
Is that New
go
Smyrna?
around New Smyrna. Oh yeah.
Oh, you were there. Okay.
They
you know what
went
I'm talking
round
about.
and round, and then there was this one young man. He looked old enough, and the car looked new enough to where you just knew his mommy and daddy bought him that car, right? So he gets out there, and he starts a little bit behind another car, and they're going through 1 and 2, and he's gaining a little bit of ground down the back stretch. All of a sudden, I mean, he is really gaining. He's on the outside. He got down to turn 3, and I don't know if he forgot to turn left or what, but man, did he try to take down the wall. He fought the wall, and the wall won. I tell you what. And the side of that car was mangled, and he came around and stopped in front of the fans. Yep. And they put him on a rollback and hauled him off. And I'm like, I wonder what that conversation is going to be like at home.
Yeah, but look at the stories he's going to tell for the, 50 years from now, he's going to be sitting at this desk telling that story. You know, that's his racing deal.
Oh, boy.
And I was there one night when the kid bought a brand new Mustang up.
Oh, boy.
And he was he's doing pretty good. and beating everybody, like you say, it's pretty fast. And the last turn, he lost the handle coming out of turn 4. It didn't hit the wall like the one you saw, but he spun. He hit the inside pit wall.
Oh.
Yeah, airbags were deployed, and he was okay, but the car was destroyed. And you know, the thing about it is, it wasn't his car. He borrowed the car from his friend.
No.
Yeah. So I wonder what the insurance company would have to say about that.
Yeah.
So, but you
You
can
sh-
race, but you got to be careful.
I've often thought, I wonder if I could get a rental car.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Then
Well,
it'd be
you-
like
yeah.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
You know what happened to him? He's coming into the turn. He's too hot. He's on the outside, and he hits the inner wall. He lifted. He realized he was too
Probably.
fast. He lifted. The
Rear
back
end
end
came
came around and
Yeah.
bang right
Right.
into the wall. So
That's probably what happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
done
So,
it myself.
So what else is going on out there?
Well, that's about it for Saturday.
Then we got Volusia coming up next month.
Yeah, we're off next week in New Smyrna, and then we start again in July. Yeah, like I said before, the next race at Volusia is July 27th. It's a month away. I think there's late models and modifieds out there then.
Yeah.
And go-kart race tonight. And Volusia will be down after July 27th. The next race won't happen until August the 6th. So they take several weeks off. Well, New Smyrna runs every week, all except once a month. And then there's a place called, All Tech up around Gainesville.
They do a lot of late model racing.
Oh, yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's a very nice track.
Yeah.
It takes about two and a half, 3 hours to get there. But they're taking the summer off. They're closed until September the 7th. And then Bubba Raceway Park, which is now Ocala Speedway, tomorrow night, if you like dirt, they're having what's called the Dog Days of Summer. It's called the Wiener Nationals. I don't know where that came from. And featuring 604 late models, street stocks, thunder stocks, Model 8s, and Fords. So it should be a pretty good show.
Why does it have separate Fords?
They're like the hobby stocks, the big cars, the old
okay.
cop cars and everything.
Yeah.
The
okay.
Granada's and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and the big boxy cars. It's 4.6 liter motor, I believe, but they're
Okay.
becoming very popular.
Oh, it's extremely popular
Yeah.
because you can get into racing
Yeah.
really cheap,
Right.
and you can't lose a lot, and they do crash them, and that's
there's
part of the
a
A
popularity.
lot of bumper car
Yep.
stuff going on.
Yeah. So they're very popular. But that's tomorrow night. But hopefully Mother Nature cooperates this weekend. But I don't know. I see rain in the forecast, but it still blows away. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And in Citrus County, say it's a small asphalt track in Inverness. I think they have Sportsman tomorrow night. Sportsman, mini stocks, something called a push car race. I'm not sure what that is. The car pushes someone around. I have no idea.
Well, you got certain cars that will push sprint cars off and things like that. I don't know if it means
maybe
that.
they're going to run them. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And then the Bandoleros for the kids.
Those are fun.
Yeah, and then Legends cars also. And on,
Similar.
oh yeah, and on July 13th, there's a big 100 lap super late model race in Citrus County, and that's it.
I used
probably go
to,
to that
once upon a time, be the track announcer at New Smyrna and at Volusia
know
Speedway
that.
at different times. So that's a different animal than writing about it because you're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
live
Exactly. Right.
doing it. That's for sure. It's a
Yeah.
lot of
think on
fun,
your
though, to do the color from one of those races.
Let me ask you a quick question. You're an area cover. Have you ever covered a race at Burbank
Oh,
Speedway?
I'm sorry. I thought you were-
Yeah, that's okay. No, problem.
Burbank.
a little racetrack over near Ocala.
Oh, I thought you meant California.
No, not that one.
No,
Burbank.
no. I've heard of the track. I think it's a very small track. It's
Well,
located real close to Bubba's.
They run go-karts. One of our regular audience members who's here every week, he's a world karting champion. He stops in here. He's got a young girl over there that he's tutoring and taking, and she's winning a lot.
Is Burbank like Leesburg, Fruitland Park, something like that?
It could be. I don't know.
I wonder. We got a minute to go till this. Where's the time going? We're having fun. Who's eating here today? Raise your hand. Kind of make a little noise. Who's eating? Good food, good. Everything going. And the drinks are nice and cold. All right. They've enjoyed that. Are you going to order food? Better order food. I want half of it. Okay, because my wife is here.
Let me finish up on that.
Oh.
He's tutoring a young girl. She's 16 years old. She's sort of a phenomenon. She's winning a lot, getting a lot of, and
How old is she?
16.
Wow.
And they call her Hurricane Hannah. He's a former world champion in karts. And he says she's the best driver he's ever had working under. She's going to be on the show here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good. What is her name? Or his
I just
name?
know her about Hurricane Hannah. We had a group going over there tonight to see her race. We've looked at the weather and said, we don't really want to do that tonight. It's probably not going to work. So, but it might be a great cover story for a young girl who is working her way up.
Always looking for new subjects.
Okay.
Sounds like she learned her lessons well so
Yeah.
far.
It's time for us to take another break halfway through this show. Interestingly enough, you were supposed to be on here a couple of weeks ago, but we had different technical difficulties. We couldn't broadcast that particular day. And then all of a sudden this week, we had Buzz's calamity. And we thought, what in the world? Should we have him on or not? We said, heck yes. It's about time to come on. Folks, we're going to take a break. We're brought to you by Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, voted one of the top 5 markets in the country by USA Weekend. And visit our Shop Now network. That happens tomorrow, right? You got some things going on. And our Shop Now at Daytona Flea and Farmers Market. Check out the Facebook page for them for the latest in vendor tours. Folks, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For a break, we'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Racing's original North Turn is our broadcast headquarters. If you're looking for a good drink, great entertainment, and the best in food, they're right on the beach at Racing's original North Turn. Come on down to dinner tonight. Here are a couple of testimonials. These are actual testimonials from people who have enjoyed the North Turn. Been there many times, always great food and drinks, great location on the beach. And another, what a great experience. It's my new favorite restaurant in the Daytona Beach area, Racing's Original North Turn on South Atlantic Avenue. That's A1A in Ponce Inlet, about 3.2 miles south of the Dunlawton Bridge and A1A intersection. It's Racing's Original North Turn, a restaurant, museum, bar, gift shop, live music. That's Racing's North Turn. Racing's Original North Turn has been voted by you Best Beach Bar Top 10 year after year after year. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim, and co-host, Rich Combs.
Well, we got a cheap imitation in Roland Villa for Buzz McKim. And Rich Combs here, Dave
Dragovich.
Dragovich.
Yeah.
Where does that name come from?
My parents. It's a Serbian name, but I'm Heinz 57. I'm Polish, Serbian, Slovak, and even a little bit of Greek. So cover it all. Yeah.
You're American. Right now we have something special. We always have, week to week we have a special person give us a question, and we have Tony with Tony Music. Before we start, what is Tony Music?
Well, I'm not Tony. I'm Mike Bowen.
Oh, you just
filling in
tripped
for
me.
Tony.
Folks, we have a script. All right, what is your name, sir?
My name is Mike Bolden.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Don't know yet because you might stump us with your question.
I doubt with that crew up there I will stump anyone. But I want to thank Dave for coming out today, and we appreciate you taking your time. And the Legends of Racing Radio show, it is a blessing to have that locally for us to enjoy on a weekly basis. Two-part question, sir. Dave, of all the races that you have attended, your favorite interview, first part, and second, your written article, your most favorite and most proud of.
Good questions.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a toughie. But I followed Jeff Bodine around 1978, and I got to meet him. He was at Motordrome Speedway with several other drivers in the 90s, and we actually ran those guys in a van to the airport. And during that time, I had my Stock Car Racing magazine with me.
No, yeah.
Jeff signed it and everything, and I did an interview with him, and probably that's one of my favorite articles. It was quite a while ago. And you know what? I still see Jeff every couple of weeks. Became pretty good friends. He's helping a guy out from Melbourne, George Alexander, the sportsman, number 63 sportsman. Jeff is on his pit crew.
Oh.
And I get to see Jeff all the time. We talk about old times and everything. So that's probably one of my favorite. And what was the second question?
Favorite interview?
Oh, interview. Okay. Well, probably Jeff, and at the time at Motordrome that year, I think it was 1990, Richard Petty was out there at Motordrome where I used to race. And
Good deal.
I talked to him, and, they'd still be talking if I wouldn't moved away. But, I'm not an autograph seeker. You sign autographs for everybody, and he stayed till the last one was signed. And that was probably the most fun interaction I had during my career. And it was just an honor to be in his presence. But there was a couple local drivers, too, I grew up watching, like Fuzzy Ruberts from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Watched him as a kid at Jennerstown Speedway, Johnstown Speedway. And through the years, I got to know him very well. Sadly, he passed away in, I think, 2006. But he was one of my heroes growing up, so I got to write about him. And he was involved. There was a modified race here at Daytona, second year in existence, 1960. And there were 68 cars started that race, and there was a heck of a big pileup.
Wow.
37 cars were involved.
Wow.
You guys, speak of YouTube, check out YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yep.
It's on there. And 37 car pileup, and Fuzzy was in that race. We talked about it, and you can see his car was number 95. I think it was a 57 Chevy or 55 Chevy, number 95, and it is at Butler's Garage, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that was my hometown. Jennerstown Speedway was right up the road. So he's one of my favorites too. So I could go on and on and talk about the local guys that made it.
Because they've got a lot of color to them, a lot of history, a lot of things involved that people love to hear about. That's for sure.
Right.
Can I tell you a racing writer story?
Sure.
I did a racing radio show for like 15 years, sometimes off and on. It was a radio show that was called Totally Racing Network, TRN. And so I was doing this, and there's a time with the 24 hours of Daytona where you get to go out to the speedway and they do their testing and things like that. And I went and I was wandering around in there and was interviewing some very famous people. Sterling Marlin, for one, was a NASCAR driver who was there. But I got to interview Sterling Moss. I mean, what a difference. But listen, I'm going to tell you this. God's honest truth. I interviewed Chris Economaki.
Wow.
No.
He was sitting there, and I says, "Hey, can I get a word with you? He says, of course, young man. And we began to talk some generalization about the sport. And then I said, so what is Daytona like for you this year? And he explained with a tear in his eye, well, it's entirely different because I lost my wife,
Sad.
a few months ago. And he was very sad about it. You could tell instantly that it affected him. And so I'm shocked. I trap myself because I'm in the middle of an interview and I learned this, or it came forward that he said that. And so what I said to him was, I says, well, you're here because she's here. She's here with you. She's here. He goes, sure. Yeah, well, thank you for saying that, young man. That wasn't the end of the story. The next day, I'm in the Grand National Garage, just dashing through, and he called me over to him, and he said, young man, I wanted to thank you for saying something. He says, I was really kind of down in the mouth and feeling sorry for myself, and then you brought it to light that, she's here. And he says, that just brightened me totally up. Chris Economaki told me that.
Wow.
And I'm like,
isn't that something? Never you'll have forever.
Every once in a while you do it. I've interviewed Paul Newman,
That's amazing.
And for 24 hours and whatnot.
Well, he made a movie in my hometown of Johnstown.
Would you like to do a question now or after? Which one? We're going to do a question now. What's your name? What size shoes do you wear? And what is your dog's middle name? No, we need a microphone. Hang on. It's not you. It's over here. What is your name, sir?
My name's Skip.
Hi.
And my question is, have you ever covered the Rolex or the Daytona 500 in your career?
Never.
The second part is, do you have any other interests other than auto racing?
Hey, thanks for the question.
Yeah, she's right behind you.
Yeah, that's my main interest right there is my wife. Yeah, thanks. No, I'm mostly a short track guy. It's kind of where I grew up, kind of where my roots are. We got a Daytona 500 every year. Matter of fact, it's one of the biggest reasons we moved down here from up north. We used to go every other year. And now we're moved down here in 2015, so we go every year to both races. So that's great. But I'd never covered that. I mean, there's so many other BD people that did. The center's so crowded. There's other people that write about the Daytona 500 in the paper. So with me, it would be kind of redundant. So, and as far as Rolex goes, I'm not a road course guy. I mean, I respect what they do. And just like drag racing, never been to drag racing, just not into road racing. I have friends that are, but so for those reasons, I just never covered it, never had the invitation or even the interest in covering it. I concentrate on the short track guys. And I say finish first, finish last. I'm going to write about them, and I'm going to get their name out there and give them the recognition that they deserve. So mostly a short track guy. Thank you.
Let me interject right there. The guy you just talked to is associated with the Wheeling Racing, and you've seen the big Cadillacs running in Le Mans and those places.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is associated with them, so that's why he asked you that question. The guy that asked the other question, Mike's a short track dirt racer, has been all his life, and he loves short track racing. And what he told me recently was, because road racing's my passion, right. And he told me he appreciated the books I gave him. So he says, I'm trying to learn road racing. He says, I've never done it, but I'm appreciating it more now that I understand it. So we all got a chance we can move around.
Tough, right?
But I want to thank you for sticking to the smaller short tracks. Yeah. Rolex and all of that.
That's where it all comes from.
Yeah, everybody can do that.
Yeah, the professionals cover that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Well, you're a professional,
thanks.
But you're covering something that you can't get anywhere else. Thank you. That's just super for a racing fan.
We are up against the clock once again. This is our third break here. The Daytona Flea and Farmers Market is bringing this segment to you. And Homewood Suites by Hilton. I'll tell you more about that when we get back. I want to talk about Homewood Suites. So I want you to stay tuned because we're not going anywhere. And you can't go anywhere because it's a little rainy out there.
Yeah.
But
It is.
we'll be right back.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Daytona Flea and Farmers Market is still the one for great savings and the best variety. Whether you need flowers and trees for your home or you're looking for great prices on Daytona Beach souvenirs, the market is the place to go. The market features 1,000 booths, 2 air-conditioned malls, a restaurant, and 9 snack shacks. Hops Grill features gourmet burgers and garden blend salads. Treat yourself to a great variety of brat and hot dog creations at the Doghouse, or enjoy a refreshing drink at the Seltzer Oasis. The market is open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and is 90% undercover, so you can shop rain or shine. There's never a charge for parking or admission. Enjoy our monthly classic car cruise-in on the first Saturday of every month and garage sale weekend, the third weekend of every month. See all we have to offer at DaytonaFleaMarket.com or like us on Facebook. Discover Daytona's most unique shopping experience, the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, just a mile west of the Speedway. We're back from where it all began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim, and co-host, Rich Combs.
And that other guy, Roland Villa, glad to be with you. And we're here at the, right now, this temporarily rainy. Bring an umbrella, and then you get trapped inside. And we're glad to be here. We have Rich Combs over there. We have Diamond Dave, yours truly. And I've got a question for Mrs. Diamond Dave. So during the time that he's been writing and doing all of this, what do you do?
Well, I support him 100%, that's for sure.
Yeah?
I often proofread, and then when we're on the road, like say, for example, we go up to Pensacola every year, I actually type in the results and give the guy a break.
I knew it. I knew it.
Right.
I knew it.
Yeah, I've been a race fan since I was about 4.
What's your first name?
Beth?
Beth?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. And
So,
we
yeah.
appreciate what you do, too. A story that he has written that maybe he doesn't want us to know about. What is one of those?
I don't think there is any one of those.
Yeah, you don't think so?
That's a good answer.
Oh, the faithful wife.
How about, yeah.
Thank you, Beth.
She's
I
my
appreciate
rock
it.
and lover support. I mean,
There you
the
go.
best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, look at these little people coming through.
I
Oh,
wouldn't know
how
what
cute.
to do without her. Yeah. Wow.
Ah, look at the little girls. Oh, my goodness. Okay,
Nice crowd. Yeah.
Mr. Diamond Dave has a race story that he wants to tell us about. It's a
Yeah.
race that he did. So we'll give you the time to get that.
Going back to busting up my wheels, you know, I was going to have to be charged for them. Become a better driver, try to anyway. In May of 1993, came down here to New Smyrna track. We had classroom and got to run New Smyrna. And there was a guy named Duke Southern. I don't know whether you ever heard of Duke. He had a racing
He had
school.
a racing school.
I
from
attended his
Edgewater.
racing school, yeah.
Yep.
And one of my questions I had for him, I said, Duke, people blame me about me busting up wheels. I says, how can I keep from busting up wheels? He looked at me and says, quit running into people. I said, what a novel idea. So I did become a better driver. And May 20th, 1994, was a big day for me. It was not my dangerous day. I got good enough, they called me Diamond Dave. Won a heat race going away and started on a pole in the feature. Yeah, the crowd gave me a standing ovation, by the way. And started on a pole in the feature So called thrill of victory, agony of defeat. First lap, I get spun out in turn 4, sideways. And then some guy named Robin Rimmel finished me off. Not until I got spun, but another guy clobbered me in the door. I'm sitting there. I see this big 250-pound bumper right here pushing in my screen. Right here, about that far from my helmet. Yeah. And I worked for U.S. Steel Corporation in computers. Yeah, had to work shifts, and I had to go to work that night. I had somebody covering for me at the computer center, and thank God I didn't get hurt. Because if I'd have been hurt and take my ambulance to the hospital, I was 4 years away from retiring. 1994, I retired in 1998.
Okay.
If I'd have gotten hurt, it could have been the end of my racing career, and my career at U.S. Steel, I'd have been fired. So.
Did they know you were racing that night, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I had it all covered, yeah. And my buddies brought the race car, and all I had to do was drive my car to race and then go immediately to work. So I got kind of gun shy after that. I got too cautious out there, so in essence, I never won a feature. A couple of heats. I was not too gun shy, but just way too cautious. I just did it for fun the rest of the time.
I raced cars for a while, and in my backyard, I had this rather large hole, and I kept telling my wife that it was for a pool, but really what it was about is I'd go there on a weekly basis, open my wallet, and just throw money down in that hole until I figured out one day, let's fill the hole back up, and let's do some race announcing, and we'll do a radio show, and I'll make money on racing. So you understand where I'm coming from on that.
Absolutely. Very expensive sport.
Yeah. Before we get too far along, I think you've got a pretty good history of the North Turn in this area, and we'd like to pull some of that out of you if we can.
I did some research here. Let's see.
I messed up your paperwork.
That's all right.
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Part of it?
Yeah. Kind of a history buff. We're surrounded by history here. You just walk in here.
And that one.
And,
He's got a book up here already.
Yeah.
Next week's article.
Yeah.
This place is so great. I mean, not take away anything from the other place, but this is where the show belongs because we're surrounded by history. You can see it immediately when you
we need to take a break. The master has said,
okay.
Let's do it.
We'll
And
hit this later,
so we will take a break.
Okay.
This break is brought to you by Homewood Suites by Hilton. If you need to find a place for relatives coming into town and a place to stay, you have a business associate to do something, Homewood Suites is located out near International Speedway Boulevard in that area. Is a great place to do it. It's priced right, and they have a continental breakfast to die for. I love it out there. We have meetings out there every once in a while, and it's a good place to go. So we're going to take a break. Stay tuned. When we get back, we've got some really good information from Dam and Dave. Right?
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Welcome to Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. You're right in the middle of all the action. Daytona International Speedway, the airport, One Daytona, Florida's newest entertainment and retail destination, and of course, the world's most famous beach. You'll love our newly remodeled 1- and 2-bedroom suites, along with our popular King Studios. You won't need your full kitchen, as Homewood Suites Daytona serves up complimentary breakfast and evening social. It's like home away from home. Go to HomewoodDaytona.com for Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.
All right, let us say right, Buzz McKim, rehab, get better, get well. We really miss you. You know, this past weekend, bizarre racing for NASCAR. Are we going to put on rain tires? Are we not going to put on rain tires? Or, what are we going to do? But guess what? We are doing this radio show with our rain tires on right now. So we can do it in the rain, too. That's always important. All right. Once again, talk a little bit about the history. We give you about 3 minutes. So this is the Reader's Digest version.
But this whole place is historical. I get chills thinking about the guys that ran this very beach. In 1927, I found out that Henry Seagrave set a land speed record right here, Daytona, 211 mile an hour. That was, like I said, 1927.
And they're still out there trying to get the record.
And he was driving a Sunbeam.
Oh, okay, and then 1936, a guy named Milt Marion won the race, one of the first races ever held here. And Bill France was in that field, and he was a competitor. And they ran 3 races each year until 1942 when World War II broke out, and there was no beach racing until 1946 after the war was over. Then, of course, we know NASCAR was founded in 1948. And Red Byron was the first winner here over Marshall Teague. But Teague came back to win 2 races in a row, I think in 1951 and 1952. And in 1958, I believe, was the last race ever contested here. And Paul Goldsmith was the last winner. And
what a legend he was.
Yeah. And then I told you about
and
the
by
1960
the way,
race.
And a Smoky Union car, by the way.
Oh, that's
Smoky
right.
for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Smoky for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. He belongs. Yes.
Smoky for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We are pro Smoky. That's
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Never got to meet Smoky. Yeah. Right about him.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had a lot written about him. His daughter put together a series of books of the history of Smoky Union, and it's something special. We'd like to thank the folks here for allowing us to bring this radio program and this podcast to you. Now it's live on YouTube, and you can go to YouTube right after this, and you can see it. It'll be put up there in all of its natural rawness.
Yes.
It'll be up there. We do appreciate the fact that you came aboard today to help us with this program, and I was able to be here to feel a little bit rich. Thank you for your stable appearance.
Good deal.
Since we're there.
And it's an honor to be with you guys. Thank
of course,
you.
Danny Joe, we
I
appreciate
think we need him back. We haven't gotten but a little bit of this story.
He'll come back. We got Buzz is so full of the history of the up and down this beach.
He
it's
knows
really
more than
else.
anybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is a walking, living history.
Encyclopedia, racing encyclopedia.
You got it. And the North Turn Restaurant is always reliable, no matter day or night on the weekend. If you want to come down here and eat, it's a great place to come and eat dinner. One thing that I want to emphasize for the people listening is the museum part of this. We should probably do a show. I know Multane will.
Yep.
We need to do a walkthrough show to show some of the museum of what's in there, because they've done a fabulous job of documenting history right here on the beach in this historic spot. We have been sponsored today by Staples on International Speedway Boulevard. Great place to pick up your supplies for your home and office. Racing's North Turn, of course, that's where we're at. Daytona Flea and Farmers Market. You know what's really good right now is that there's a lot of deals because it's warmer out there. They've got some air-conditioned areas. They've got some fans. But they've got a lot of things that you can buy right now with less of a crowd pressuring you. That's one way to put it. That's something that we need to do. We need to go out to Daytona Flea and Farmers Market. Also, Homewood Suites by Hilton. It's the Hilton name. They don't put their name on just anything. So it's a good place to live. It's right there. And the thing that we'd like to thank most of all is Danny Joe and Michael Multane for helping us do this show and getting it together and being able to bring it to you. It makes a huge difference, that's for sure. Next week, we've got a guest planned that's going to be a surprise guest because we don't even know who it is. No, I'm kidding. We got a surprise guest coming, so you're going to be very happy with that. I'll be back. Rich will be back. And Dave will be listening along the way. There you go.
I'm on YouTube all the time.
You know, one day you might write a story about this show, but wait till Buzz is here.
Great idea.
And wait till Buzz is here. Right. You can talk about it and let him know what goes on.
I did an article about Buzz about a year ago.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I've got a storyline for you. You won't remember the number of times you're talking with people here, you go out into the hallway, and the pictures are up, and someone's saying, "That's my dad. That's my granddad." And you get to meet the people that are here.
It's fantastic.
That's the legend of the whole deal.
That's true. When we talk about legends of racing, we're talking about it could be the guy that sweeps the tarmac to get the lug nuts picked up.
Absolutely.
It could be somebody, in journalism. It's anybody, they can become a legend. Folks, we have really enjoyed being with you. My name is Roland Villa. For Rich Combs and Diamond Dave, thank you so much for being here today, putting up with us. Buzz, get well.
Yeah. You're well, Buzz. Thanks, everybody.
The Legends of Racing radio show originates live from the very spot where beach racing began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. Join us next time for the Legends of Racing